I am privileged to introduce to you Julia Mendenhall, our salutatorian. Julia was born into a military family, and she has lived in Europe for the majority of her life. Next year, she will be attending Brigham Young University to study communications. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. and Mrs. Mendenhall to award Julia with her medal.
First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone that helped us get here today. Parents, teachers, administrators, siblings, family friends, and anyone else. You've all been amazing, and we couldn't have done it without you. To set the stage, I'll quote what a salutatorian is from a text dear to us all, the Urban Dictionary. A salutatorian is the person who just missed being valedictorian by a few GPA points. A very miserable person indeed. Second place is just the first loser. Alas, finally, the Urban Dictionary has utterly failed us. A better motto would be akin to Miss America's. We are all winners. It's very cliche, but classmates, really, we all have so much to be proud of. We made it through the years of work, hours of stress, countless cloudy days, and piles of food from the cafeteria we needed to get here. If you looked at pictures of us our freshman year compared to what we are today, the changes are remarkable. In a way, high school has been a lot like an opera. In an opera, we don't really understand what's happening most of the time, and we certainly don't get purpose. But when the show is over, we are relieved. But enough people tell us that it is worthwhile and to be cherished. We know it means something. There have been trials along the way, like when your cookie is just too big for your glass of milk, and questions we could not answer, like who in their right mind designed these caps. But I know one day we will look back and miss all those times Miss Harris told us to stand up in the hallway, or Mr. Tran quoted pink at an assembly. Right now, finally graduating is like eating bagel bites straight from the microwave. I simply can't digest it. We have all rushed to make deadlines, learned to work sweats like we belong on a Paris runway, found our way out of Mr. Novak's piles of stuff, and finally gotten to this stage. Personally, I've had a daily countdown to graduation since sophomore year, but it's still unreal to finally be up here. A couple years ago, there was a man, David McCullough, praised for speaking at a graduation and saying, "You are not special. You are not exceptional." End quote. Leaving high school will not be easy. We'll have to fight every step of the way. But I believe we are special. Our class has survived a hailstorm of cats raining from the ceiling. And every Monday, we went without gourmet food from the Feasible. We know how to laugh, and we know how to pick ourselves up. We certainly were not perfect, but we all were supposed to die last December anyways, so we really exceeded expectations. Classmates, remember the good times from Shape, but also remember whenever you were frustrated, discouraged, or outright overwhelmed, and remember how you moved on. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, the best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time, and people are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. I won't tell you that there are no limits. That's a lie. But these limits do not need to hold you back. Think of a kite. Without its string tethering it to the ground, it would crash to the earth. So, when life throws you turbulence, straighten up, fly right, and carry on. Some final words of wisdom from Ellen DeGeneres. Follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods, and you're lost, and you see a path, then, by all means, you should follow that. And from Betty Reese, if you think you are too small to be effective, you have never been in bed with a mosquito. Thanks again to all of the people I mentioned at the start of my speech. Y'all are just as brilliant at the end of my speech. And to the class of 2013, one more time, we're done. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce one of our class representatives and one of the sweetest people I know, Mara Knight.